Okay, Dave Grohl, the Storyteller, legendary music performer of the Foo Fighters, the drummer in Nirvana, and sufferer of losing important people in his life. This guy has been through it. And since he wrote this book after the fact, after it was published, he recycled the same thing. One of his bandmates overdosed from drug usage in the same year his mom died, who, if you read this book, his mom was just extremely important to him. So he has just endured tragedy after tragedy, and it's sad, it's unfortunate, but I have found that the alternative to tragedy in those times is when you find a lot of wisdom, and so he's able to write about that wisdom in here and share it with us. I love the cover. He jokes about it being a night after he was hungover, but then on the back, this book is just totally him. And one of the the coolest things about this book to me was that he wrote it. No ghostwriter, no somebody to summarize the stories, no audio interview and then somebody translates it. He wrote this book, and he's a writer anyway. So what hit me unexpectedly, and maybe you too, was that so many of the lines in here are just like poetry. I mean, just like, you don't expect it. He's this rock star. And it's just, some of these lines are so amazingly written. For example, for in a world full of Barbies, every girl needs a Joan Jett. There's a great story in here about his daughter playing with the Barbie of Joan Jett. Well, he had the ability to call Joan and have her come over and meet her daughter. And just a great story about a woman that is truly who she is and who cares about what society says. And he's big on that. He says, fly your freak flag. But okay, so about the book though, great book, well written. People are loving it. I mean, people are really loving it. There's some people that are saying it got boring, toward too many of the same old kind of stories. And I'm thinking, Paul McCartney coming in and teaching your daughter to play piano is not boring. It's like, how many of those can you have? Read the book. Playing music at the White House. I would suspect that people that don't find it interesting are people that aren't fans of Dave Grohl, are not fans of music or know anything about him. Now, I mean, and I still think if you're not, it's a great read. Expand your horizons a little bit with this book. If you don't know who it is or you're not a music person, give it a shot, because you'll be shocked at how many people you meet. I was out at the gym reading this book at the gym, and some 50 middle-aged woman with purple hair comes up to me and she's like, I cannot believe you're reading Dave Grohl's book. I have never been in my life been able to meet somebody that is interested in the Foo Fighters other than like me, or Dave Grohl or whatever. And it was like, just seeing the book was a connection, which was neat, which is why I love books, because it brings people together. But anyway, it's just a great series of stories from his life. There's so many lessons about parenting, his relationship with his kids, coming at a time of height of his career, how he navigated those waters, the importance of family, relationship with your parents. I mean, this is not just a book that is about music. This book is about him sharing lessons of loss and suffering and relationship with parents, good, relationships with parents that are bad, relationships with your kids. I mean, it really blew me away that he had that much depth. It would be like Steven Tyler of Aerosmith writing a book and you going, wow, I mean, that's poetic. I mean, this is kind of that way, although I expect it out of Dave Grohl because he's really talented. But I mean, things like, I love my children as I was loved as a child, and I pray they will do the same when their time comes. Some cycles are meant to be broken. Some are meant to be reinforced. And it was in reference of his mother doing a great job and his father doing a poor job. Some cycles are meant to be broken. Some cycles are meant to be reinforced. It's like, take all the good, do the good only, and remove the bad and forget about the bad and move on. I mean, so many great little stories about his kids, the grind of coming up in Nirvana and just out of nowhere exploding into overnight fame and getting all this, and then of course your band, your leader dies over an overdose, and then it's over. What do you do after that? How do you rebuild after that? When it was the height of everything. performing at his kids' talent shows. I just thought that's so cool. If I was a rock star and world famous and selling out Wembley Stadium, I would totally do talent shows with my daughter at school. How special would that be? Being yourself unapologetically, parenting, cool life experience, and the love of his mother to him and his reciprocity of that love to her, and then also everybody he comes in contact with. Another great thing. So anyway, it was a great book. That's about all I can say about it. The stories are great. I think you'll love them if you're not aware of Dave Grohl and Foo Fighters, but you'll love them even so much more if you are. So the fans of his are just going to love the book, and I think non-fans will have a good time with it also. So pick it up. Dave Grohl, the Storyteller. Will I be keeping it on my shelf? I don't think so. Just because he's not somebody I relate to every day. I'm not sure I'd reread it because of that. I reread book like Matthew McConaughey's book I would read again and have that on my shelf because the elements of that are just more similar to me. I relate a little bit more. So, I don't know what kind of books you keep on your shelf, but it would be a keeper. Even if you're not going to reread it, it's a great, great book and a significant book, not just run-of-the-mill book. So, Storyteller by Dave Grohl.